Vacation's over. We're back to the war. I'm just back from a conference with Captain Sorensen and Captain Kiramotten. The good news is the last 6 days have done wonders for our combat readiness. The Indus and Yangtze have both used the Agincore's capabilities to maximize their combat efficiency. Our own fighters have been repaired, rearmed, and in some cases patched up with TEV equipment. Laporte, your ship had a faulty comm unit, so you now have a TEV receiver decryptor installed. Don't let your Earther side get the better of you. I don't want any attempts to understand how they feel. The bad news is that traffic with the Agincore, which remains under the control of our prized party, has had unintended consequences. Our entire backup pilot roster is sick with some kind of influenza variant they picked up from the TEV crew. Worse yet, someone in the Press Gang GTVA deck crew sabotaged several of our fighters while they were being tuned up on the Agincore. Between the Indus and Yangtze, we have 7 flight-ready pilots, 2 gunships, and 5 Kentoroys, and, as I'm sure you've all anticipated, the GTVA is finally onto us. Our destination gate is 30 minutes away on sublight. However, Lieutenant Levi's last recon run spotted the GTD hood blockading the gate. It must have arrived within the last few hours and remained under sensor silence. 5 minutes ago, the hunter-killer Corvette team Circer jumped in to reinforce the hood. Hey, discipline. I know many of you have heard of Circer. The Marcus Glaive, Pilum, and Hydra specialize in short-range subspace shock attacks, jumping in and eliminating warships. We believe the TEVs plan to destroy the Indus and Yangtze, then recapture the Agincore. We've obviously been detected, so we've signaled Admirals Natraba and Calder for backup. Judging by the terse replies we've received, they were ready for this contingency. Natraba is going to take the Eris and some artillery, along with our War God companions Katana and Altanord, and wreak havoc at the GTVA's Neptune fortifications. That should draw off steel in the Atreus. Admiral Calder is sending the jamming ship Anjanea to help us fend off the Circer corvettes. The Anjanea has Jupiter's very best electronics aboard. If all goes well, she'll stymie their beam weapons entirely. Once their targeting is jammed, our frigates will engage with torpedoes and hopefully destroy the Circer threat once and for all. If the Carthage remains in reserve to defend Artemis Station, then Admiral Calder will send us a torpedo strike division to help mop up. We get the Agincore through the gate and go home heroes. Our role in this is, as usual, to kill TEV fighters. There are only a few of us, so we all need to be in top form. We're rested and ready, and if we stay close to the Indus and Yangtze, our teamwork and point defenses should give us the upper hand against GTVA fighter sweeps. The Agincore's guns will add to our fire pocket. We will face skilled pilots in great numbers. It's the 7 of us against the Hood's fighters. We must hold. Laporte, you're on my wing. After how many card games you've lost to me in the last couple days, I wouldn't have it any other way. Levi, you perpetual malcontent, you'll fly R3. Karen Ingmei and Olafumi off the Yangtze will fly Beta. Glance, Ogre, you're our gunship support. Look, if you people want my opinion, I think something big is happening. The Agincore alone is a huge target, but it's drawn out a TEV destroyer and other vital assets. I think Calder and Netraba are using the Agincore as a catalyst for their own strategic plans. I mean, think about it. The Hood is here, ready for the taking. The Atreus is occupied. The Carthage is probably going to play defense. The Imperius is out of the system. We have a golden opportunity here. If we do our jobs here today, then maybe the War Gods will go down in history as the ones who turned the war around. We're back to the war.
Oh, this is fucked. Look at those corvettes. Calder better come through, or we're gonna be operated.
Reinforcements are coming, War Gods. Until they arrive, we hold. They're going to throw squadron after squadron at us, and we will kill them, and we will hold. Understood?
Wilco, break. 7 of us against a destroyer and a hunter-killer team. How are we supposed to...
On the field before Troy, Diomedes, given strength by Pallas Athena, routed the strong grieved and the disciplined. This is your Aristia, Noemi. Fight, and you will triumph.
How are we going to keep them from running away before we're done with them?
You know, Laporte, I could really get used to you. Here they come, War Gods.
one up! Get out of there!
Bank 1 low. Bank
Horseshoe
1
tech,
empty.
Keep it up, war gods. We're getting kills here. Stay close to the frigates and adjutant corps.
Get out of there, bloodletters. The feds have you in a fire pocket.
Splash one task force. Hold by the frigates, war gods. They've got more metal on the way.
Zerker corvettes approaching beam range. Sims, if that ECM support doesn't show up.
Rearming complete, sir. You're good to go.
This is the UEA Angeneia, on station to provide ECM support. We will attempt to disrupt Zerker's beam guidance. Stand by.
I see plasma shine on the Zerker corvettes.
Clean misses. Our jamming held. Indus, Yangtze, commence your engagement. We will jam the Hood's primary weapons.
Zerker corvettes are turning off. Watch those AAA beams, pilots.
We've got company.
Pilots, we're detecting another TEV squadron jumping in. We've also got a launch from the hood. They're piling it on.
Damn, that's a whole heavy assault squadron. Watch the Trebs. 2, you ready for more?
Ready and eager, sir. I'm just getting warmed up.
In trouble. Stay frosty, war gods. Keep your shields tight. We're all over this.
Here we go.
Heads up, heads up. Artemis bomber strike inbound on the Angeneia. Protect that ship, or the hood will open up on us.
Hostile contact, heads up.
Bank 1 low. Bank 1 empty.
That one, don't let those bombers off yet, people. The Tevs will use staggered deployments. Watch for more waves trying to sneak in.
We've got company.
I copy, pilot. Support ship in transit.
Bank 2 low. Bank 2 empty.
We have a squadron of assault fighters jumping in. They're moving to strike Yangtze and Indus.
Copy that. Nail those Hercs if you get a chance, people.
I could use a hand here.
Heads up, pilots. Kula squadron inbound. 5 clicks. Don't let them bounce.
Bank 3 low. Bank 3 empty.
Heads up, enemy fighters.
This is UAC Oxel leading 2nd Torpedo Strike Division Jovian Ripley. Admiral Calder sends his compliments. Engaging the corvettes.
This is Delta Wing, 18th Blade Dancers, UED Eris. Tagging onto your battle net and assuming escort positions.
Good to have you, Blade Dancers.
Rearming complete, sir. You're good
Heads
to go.
up, heads up, inbound.
Bank 1 low. Bank 1 empty.
Indus, this is the Auxerre. Our ECM ship just went down. Can you lend us a few channels in case more Tev hunter-killers arrive?
Pilots, the Tev attack is slackened off. Disarm weapon subsystems on the nearby corvettes so our torpedoes can get through. That's a negative, Auxerre. We need everything we've got to safeguard the Agincourt.
I copy, pilot. Support ship in transit.
I'll do my best.
War guards, this is Troop TARDIS active. Steele just slipped a warship past me. You have a strike corvette inbound. The ETA is 30 seconds. Good luck. Calder out.
Chimera corvette Pylum is withdrawn. She'll be out of the fight for a few days.
Copy that, Admiral. War gods, return to the Agincourt and stand by for contact. We don't have a vector on her arrival yet.
Copy that, sir. Committed to designated target.
Sweet fortune, what a jump! The Medea has emerged in broadside position and is commencing attack. Torpedo 2, brace for beam fire.
Roger that,
Any
sir.
cost.
I'll do my best.
War gods, Auxerre. We cannot hold against the Medea. We are trying to reach the Eris for help, but the Medea is jamming our transmission. Advise.
Auxerre, Yancy, we're jammed as well. Hold the Medea off while we try and punch through.
That is AWACS and pursued an electronic warfare attack on us. We cannot overcome the BTS noise. Magazine fire breaks are going. Clear.
God, she's relentless. We need to put some pressure on that corvette. Anyone have a bright idea?
Just lost the day of Richter.
Indus TAC, War God 6. What's the status on that jam? I need assets out there.
Stand by 6. We're resolving a systems crisis. Handing you off to Yangtze Tactical.
War gods, Yancy Tactical. We're punching our way through, but it's going to take some time. Do what you can with current assets. Be aware that the Medea's slash beams can engage us even through ECM cover.
Wait, Sims! I've got that Tev comm unit on board and it's got green lights. Give me the codes for the Erisnet.
You think you can handle it, Laporte? Yeah, me too. Alright, here goes. Enter 229er Bravo Hotel 761 Kilo, then hold to authenticate.
Weapons hot. Going for the merge.
Transit.
Sims? Laporte. I'm on the Erisnet and they're waiting for my requests. What now?
Assemble a strike package to take out that corvette. They won't let you request the whole damn air wing, so be selective.
We're going down. This is Torpedo 2 signing off. Stand clear of our blast.
Those Jovians died to buy us time. Let's not screw this up.
Sigma Wing, ready to provide fighter cover for strikes on the Medea.
Precision strike team. Inbound on Medea weapon.
The Medea has achieved a partial beam lock. She's about to open fire.
Fangs out. Closing for the merge. Fangs out. Closing for the merge.
Fuck these bastards!
Marcus Glaive has exited the field of engagement. One less major threat.
Hit them hard.
hostiles.
Bangs out. Closing for the merge.
Someone help me!
Bank 2 low.
Good, Medea. Our end run is going poorly. Resistance is fierce.
On our way in.
Hit them hard! Hit them hard!
In trouble.
I copy, pilot. Support ship in transit.
Bank 2 empty. Bank 3 low. Bank 3 empty. Bank 1 low. Bank 1
Rearming
empty.
sequence aborted. I copy, pilot. Support ship in transit.
Heavy damage.
2, where the hell are you?
We did it! The Medea is coming apart. Good strike, call report. That was brilliant work.
Recall. Immediate relief action needed at Neptune. All Ares fighter and gunship assets respond.
Pilots, with the Medea down, we should be able to contact other fleet elements. Stand by. Reading a subspace exit. There goes a Corvette, pulling Hydra from the gunnery.
Indus, War God 6. Can we get some additional firepower to deal with that command carrier parked in front of the gate?
Hey, you lot. What do you think the HUD's doing? Just looming there, throwing out fighters, instead of taking a blitz at us.
Looks like they're still having trouble with the Angenaeus jamming.
War Guards, this is Admiral Calder. I am prepping the two TARDIS for relief action. I will not be able to recover my screen, so I trust you to provide fighter cover.
Lorna, we're in rough shape. If the Tev sortie a hunter-killer team or enough bombers, we could lose that destroyer.
Between his squadrons and Natraba's feint, the Tevs are occupied. It's Indra 2 all over again, only this time Calder is on our side. We just need to do our jobs.
Prepare to assault the hood or engage hostile bombers, sir. Let's do this.
War Guards, this is Calder. I am closing on the hood. Her AWACS is scrabbling my torpedo locks, and I'm needing my torpedo. Destroy it.
I don't think we want to keep it waiting. Once I got anyone, let's watch the escorts.
Gunnery, target the hood's main beam with the CG-4s.
The hood's AWACS cover is gone. Can you achieve a lock, Tutatis?
Roger that, sir.
Affirmative. All torpedo stations. Get me salvo fire on the hood. Show them out.
On our way in.
Bank 2 empty. Bank 3 low.
In trouble.
I copy, pilot. Support ship in transit.
Bank 3 empty. Bank 1 low. Bank 1 empty.
Run home, little Tev. Tell Steele I'm coming for him. The field is ours. Captain Martash, stand down to Condition 2 and begin damage assessment.
Sir, this is Captain Sorensen, JTF War Gods. We have retrieved the target and are prepared to return to Earth.
Congratulations, Captain. You just bit off a quarter of the Tev's logistical ability and gave us our first real victory in the war. That logistics ship is a treasure trove. I'm not handing it over to Earth. Natraba and I have other plans.
Sir, Admiral Burns' standing orders are to deliver all captured GTVA technology for his project. Isn't this mutiny?
Martian Concordia and Jovian Systems Republic do not answer to Burn. We answer to the Elders. While they are wise leaders, they are not warriors. At 0800 this morning, Admiral Natraba and I informed Burn that 2nd and 3rd Fleets are now autonomous commands. Admiral Byrne and the Elders are committed to a defensive war that will bring the Tevs to the negotiating table. That strategy is fatally flawed.
You'll find no disagreement here, Admiral. We're all glad to be finally hitting back.
Hot damn. Karen, you owe me a $5.
Sir, if 2nd and 3rd Fleet plan to bring the war to the GTVA, the War God stands ready.
Admiral Steele's plan to stage a single, decisive battle on Earth leaves the GTVA vulnerable to counterattack during the buildup. He is going for the throat, and Natraba and I plan to kick him in the balls. Taking out the Ashen Core will cut their supply chain. They'll need another 4 or 5 months of preparation. We will exploit this advantage.
Sir, I have something to say.
Damn it, Laporte, keep quiet. Calder will bust your balls for so much as coughing without permission.
Pilot, do you have an objection to this task force's new assignment?
No, sir. I just wanted to express my thanks and convey my wishes that Admiral Byrne would grow the balls to make this decision himself.
Sub-Lieutenant Laporte, your willingness to speak ill of a superior officer in an undisciplined tirade fills me with certain ill-advised respect. Consider yourself forgiven, possibly even acknowledged. Now get the Ashen Core through that gate before Steele disentangles himself and comes running to save his career.
My God, Laporte, you're still on flight status. I can't believe Calder let you off.
Nice speech, Sub-Lieutenant. Did you have that all written out on some flowered stationery, taped up in your cockpit?
Oh, I bet he loved your input, Laporte. He'll probably make you Special Requisitions Officer for Burns Testicles. Or something.
Oh, hush, you know how I get on combat high.
All right, War Gods. Looks like we're gonna win this war all on our own. Let's jump home and get started. 6 weeks ago, we, as a people, were coasting towards defeat. Today, we put the Federation back into contention. With the capture of the Agincourt logistics ship, we've done nearly as much damage to GTVA infrastructure in the system as their blitz did to us. Without the Agincourt, they can't pressure us to the same degree. Without pressure, we can hit back. And if we can hit back, that means Steele's plan for a decisive stroke at Earth is off. Better yet, we dealt significant damage to GTVA tactical assets. Circuit Team and the GTD Hood will be repairing at Artemis Station for several days, possibly weeks. Without those hunter-killers in the field, we can deploy our own warships more aggressively. Admiral Natraba and Admiral Calder are in conference with Admiral Byrne and several elders right now. I imagine the proverbial defecation has really hit the ventilation. Byrne wanted the Agincourt very badly, but my impression is that Calder and Natraba plan to use it to support a new offensive to retake Jupiter. The Agincourt has as much logistical capacity as 3 of our standard dockyards, and it's mobile. The bad news from today was our own losses. The Tevs are reeling strategically, but tactically, they were as strong as ever. Torpedo 2 was murdered trying to assist us. In the Neptune fight, Admiral Steele gave Natraba's artillery a sound thrashing and came near to catching the Eris itself. That man remains a menace. The Indus and Yangtze will be in dock for several days, working backup after today's beating. We have been given exemption from Jump 5 duty. While I ordinarily stay away from all squadron social activities, I think the War Gods deserve some quality bonding time. Karen Ingmei has a place in Kandor Chasma, and the hiking is fabulous. I'll send a communique after the briefing.
To the serving officers and crew of the War Gods Elite Task Force, find attached the transcript of the meeting between the Fleet Admirals and the High Council of Elders at Jiuhuashan, Anhui Province. The points of contention involved the declaration of autonomy by Second Fleet and the Third Fleet exiles. You can read the subsequent ruling of the Council regarding this matter, but it will be sufficient to note that the First Fleet Admiralty no longer dictates our military policy. However, we will still obey the will of the Council in non-military matters, and the Martian government still acknowledges Federation authority. The second imperative point of contention concerned the fate of the GTL Agincourt. It was my intention to recommission the Agincourt into the registry of the Second Fleet as a support vessel, using the precedent of the GTL Solace when she defected to Federation authority last year. She now serves as part of the home fleet in a classified capacity. Admiral Calder supported my proposition. The motion was denied by the Council, and an order handed down for the immediate transport of the vessel to Earth. In their words, the Agincourt is no longer a military asset, and is now the property of the Federation Science Institute. My official position on this matter is the same as Admiral Calder's. We will support the Elders in this, and have thus relinquished control of the Agincourt. Despite this setback, I expect each of you to do your duty to the best of your ability, and I have every confidence that we will prevail in this conflict. Admiral Kyle Natreba, UED Eris, 2nd Fleet Mars.
Natreba, Calder, what in the devil's name are you two playing at? Autonomy? I've given you autonomy enough these past 18 months to the near ruin of us all. Given your War Gods did well in securing the Agincourt, but Admiral Calder's fixation with the destruction of Circuit Team threw 2 cruisers and an ECM asset right into Tev hands. Admiral Natreba's stunt at Neptune damaged his artillery ships and nearly cost us the Eris. A single reactionary artillery strike at the Hood would have saved lives and secured the Agincourt sooner. If you two insist on continuing these frontier antics, then there's little I can do. I've told you enough times that these are only temporary victories against a determined and highly adaptable enemy. The Tevs can afford destroyer casualties. We're barely getting by on cruiser and strike craft attrition. Your faith in your fleets is admirable, but we won't win this conflict through force of arms. It's not who we are. Would that your faith in the Elders be stronger in the times when we must rely on it most. Admiral Byrne, UED Solaris, Home Fleet.
Okay, people, leave ended 12 hours ago, so quiet down. As you've probably seen, the Indus's time in dock came with some extra perks. We're now one of the very few frigates in 2 Fleet with functioning hot showers. My mama always said that heroism paid big dividends. While we were cavorting around on leave, some very disturbing political developments have occurred. These events are a direct result of our capture of the GTL Agincourt. Unfortunately, it appears that Admiral Steele had a contingency plan for the loss of one or both of his logistics ships. That plan may now be in its first stages, and with luck, we can disrupt it. 6 minutes ago, recon elements picked up a distress call from an unregistered freighter outside the asteroid belt, under attack by the Gaian effort. The recon wing moved in to check out the situation and possibly confiscate the freighter's cargo. Turns out, the ship wasn't Tev, but Vasudan. Yes. It seems the Imperium has finally decided to pay us a visit, and we've been chosen to be part of their welcoming committee. The Beset is a Vasudan logistics ship in the vein of the Agincourt, and from what intel's gathered about these ships, they seem pretty similar to their Tev counterparts. Big, slow, and poorly armed. A prime target for pretty much any hostile force in this system. The Vasudan ship was ambushed during a navigational adjustment between intra-system hops. Somehow, the Gefs knew where this adjustment would occur, which seems impossible as jump schedules are tightly classified, but that's a job for Natraba's intel personnel. Now, technically we're not at war with the Vasudans, but they are still allies with the General Terran Assembly. Admiral Natraba wants us to secure control of the freighter, assist their crew, and get some answers from their captain regarding their standing orders. We need to know where the Vasudans stand in this war, and whether or not Emperor Khonzu II has decided to throw his weight behind the Tev push into our system. Our fear is that Khonzu has elected to support Steele logistically. Laporte, you'll be my second. Levi, you're Alpha 3. Courtney and McManus, take up Beta Wing. Alpha Wing has cleared the fighter bay.
Don't do it here! All fighters, break off! We need to pull ass!
Our boarding party is getting cut up here, boss. Bloody huge Vesuvians with their enormous guns. They've got some kind of power armor. Gaia, it's got a fucking sword!
I didn't sign up for this shit. We're getting out of here.
Marines, you must get clear the airlock. We're reading an explosive device inside the dock. Detonation detected. Marines, report your status.
We have suffered major casualties. The explosion buckled several locals and left multiple transport members dead.
Retreat! Retreat! This operation's gone to hell. Those Gef bastards bit off a bit more than they could chew. I wonder what drove them to attack the Vasudans. Didn't we think they were working for the Tevs?
Pessetjet, this is Captain Sorensen of the United Earth Frigate Indus, 2nd Fleet Mars. We've received your distress signal and are here to provide assistance. What is your status?
You are speaking to Captain Apries of the Pessetjet. The Gef boarding party inflicted damage to our fuel processors. We have multiple cases of radiation exposure and flash burns. Our emergency response teams have been overwhelmed.
We've got a medical transport on 2-minute standby, Captain Apries. Our medics have been brought up to speed on Vasudan physiology. Permission to proceed?
Permission denied, Captain Sorensen. Under GTVA protocol, we cannot submit our vessel to your authority.
We're not asking for your surrender, Captain Apries. Federation policy is to offer support to all neutral vessels in distress. Our hands are open.
This is not a neutral vessel. Under the Deneb Convention, your government is designated a hostile power. As such, we have no choice but to respond to any attempted boardings with force.
Are the Vasudans rejecting our medical assistance? Are they insane?
Think about it this way, Levi. The Gefs are a lot like their Hammer of Light. Would you let a bunch of Vasudans board your ship after an attack by those nutjobs?
If we're falling back on technicalities, Captain, last I checked, our government was at war with the General Terran Assembly, not the Imperium. Consider this a token of friendship from a society that shares much in common with your own.
Your actions are honorable, Captain Sorensen, but I cannot help but doubt your intentions. We are quite aware of the role that your ship played in the capture of the GTL Agincourt.
I'm sure you'll see the difference between action against an enemy target and a mission of mercy, Pesajet. Scan the Litman, and you'll find no weapons on board.
Your medical ship appears to be what it seems, Captain Sorensen. Our situation leaves us little choice. Send the Litman, and only the Litman, to the port dock. I will have a Marine detachment meet your medical team at the airlock.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Indus War Gods, looks like we're privileged enough to witness the first contact between Earth and Vasudan forces in 50 years.
I'd do anything just to talk to one of them. I've read stories about their culture. Martin Manto said that Khonsu was closer to spiritual enlightenment than many of our elders.
Spiritually enlightened or not, their beams are going to be just as terrifying when they're aimed at our ships. Until they're helping us kick the Tevs out of our system, I'm not going to expect a damn thing from them.
Really, Captain? There's no curiosity down under all that Martian gruff? Permit me to quote the Intel database. A civilization of philosophers, artists, and scholars. You're not intrigued?
Once attended a lecture given by one of the Epsilon 4. He answered questions afterwards about what it was like being one of the only Vasudans left in Sol. Of course, they say the Vasudans were with the Fedayeen.
Captain Sorensen, we're picking up a jump point forming nearby. Hostile configuration.
I copy, pilot.
Looks like the Tevs got the distress call too. All crew to battle stations. Fighter wings take up escort positions around the Indus and Litman. Do not engage unless fired upon.
Bank 1 low.
Weapons hold, Alpha and Beta wings. Do not fire until I say. Keep away from those Tev ships. You're spiked.
GTCV are 2 Zeto Federation vessels. The passage is under our protection. Stand down your vessels and leave, or we'll open fire.
This is Captain Sorensen of the United Earth Frigate Indus. Negative on your demands, Arethusa. We are engaged in a medical mission and will defend ourselves.
Damn Tev! Get off my tail! Indus control permission to open fire!
Don't make me laugh, Captain. Medical mission? This is clearly another attack of our logistics by a desperate military. Leave now, or suffer the consequences.
Captain Price, we can vouch for their actions thus far. The Indus and her fighters assisted in driving off an attack by the Gaian effort. We are transmitting logs.
Acknowledge, passengers. We believe some Gaian effort cells may be working for the Federation's Black Ops unit. This is likely an attempt on your ship.
Their teams aboard my vessel are unarmed. They did not exhibit any suspicious behavior.
These records seem to check out, Captain Aquarius. But we've got bigger problems. Your ship's hull integrity is dropping fast. We need to deploy teams to help contain internal fires and lock down damage. Captain Sorensen, unless you want a firefight aboard a dying ship, withdraw at once. Your rescue efforts are neither welcome nor needed. We will use force if necessary.
We don't have time for this, Captain. These Vasudans are in need of medical assistance. Unless you want to explain to the Emperor why his soldiers had to die, let us do our jobs.
Holy, Indus Control, I'm getting red lights on my board. Long-range communications are down.
Captain Sorensen, we don't have time for this posturing. The clock's ticking on the Pesajet's reactor failure.
Captain Price, we're picking up massive jamming from your corvette. What is the meaning of this?
A little, insurance policy, Captain Sorensen. You want to do things your way? Fine. Help out the Vasudans, but no reinforcements.
GTT Samson, on approach to dock in the Pesajet's ventral airlock.
Federation forces, if you are armed, hold your fire.
In which case, Captain, I'm sure you won't object to us returning the favor. Comms, hit them with a wide-frequency blast. Jam their long-range communications.
This is Medic Team Alpha. We're experiencing massive internal detonations. The Vesudan engineers we're patching up say the internal safeties have failed.
Damn! We're scrambling repair equipment from the Indus, but it's gonna be several minutes until we can load a shuttle. Do the best you can with what you have.
We've got repair technicians with heavy field equipment on board the Samson. Standard procedure for answering a stricken vessel. You could learn from our example next time.
And your transport carries only the barest medical facilities, Captain. If your engineers save the ship, we'll save the crew. Once the Pessajet is out of danger, we'll work from there.
Touché, Captain Sorensen. Here's my proposal. We stand down, and you do the same. We pool our resources, repair the Vesudan ship, and then we go our separate ways. The Vesudans continue to help us supply, while you gain favor with Khonsu for your surrender war solutions.
Indus, I'm reading a global weapons power down on the Arathusa and Tev fighters. They've disengaged and are pulling back.
What extraordinary times we live in. Very well, Captain Price. The welfare of the Pessajet will take precedence for now. However, if you do anything to compromise the ceasefire, we will not hesitate to open fire.
Red and black ants building bowling alleys together from caterpillar teeth.
This is doing my head in. Sitting this close to Tevs without shots firing?
This is Medic Team Alpha. Engineer crisis teams have managed to seal off compromised areas. Radiation levels are falling and we managed to secure most of the surviving crew. Good thing those techs came when it did.
Normally I'd be itching to open fire, but do you think this is how it's supposed to be? That maybe this is the first sane thing that's happened since the Teds showed up?
Ever the romantic, Laporte. Frankly, this is absurd. Sooner or later, we'll be shooting at each other again. Let's just get it over with.
If you ask me, a little danger brings a certain buzz to first meetings. Has anyone ever told you how lovely you sound on the comm? Lieutenant Fabian Kanadi, at your service, 181st Bloodhound Squadron, GTD Carthage. Call sign Anansi. Goodness knows why.
Captain Lorna Sims, Indus War Gods. Now you'll know who I am when our little hug box breaks up and I kill you.
Only one side can win. Choose. It is the way of things. You must choose.
Sub-Lieutenant Noemi Laporte, Indus War Gods. Have a care with Captain Sims, Tev. You don't want her on the wrong side of the IFF spectrum.
So I've heard. Your squadron has Admiral Steele's attention, Sub-Lieutenant Laporte. You lot seem determined to win this war all by yourself.
It's always good to verify our strategic impact from a human source, Lieutenant Kerniati. How about some hard numbers? What's the bounty on my head?
Big enough to make me take notice, and my father's a shipping magnate. The catch is, of course, that no one survives to collect, or I'm sure I would have heard reports of your charms.
This is a bad line of work for an amateur Casanova, Lieutenant. When you get shot down out here, it's dangerously literal.
Medic Team Alpha here. Preliminary triage has been completed. We're moving the critically wounded onto the Littman for emergency care. I wish to state for the record that the conduct of the GTVA engineering teams has been more than exemplary.
Acknowledged, MT Alpha. Good work. Well, Captain Price, it seems thanks are in order.
Eyes up, pilots. New contact. It's the heavy frigate Hesperia.
Priority message to Captain Aldred. Tell him to cease fire immediately. The Arethusa is a non-combatant.
Scorpio Wing and Arethusa have gone weapons hot.
Arethusa has opened fire.
Empty.
Mayday, mayday! Panazi is hit!
Someone with a ceasefire. All batteries return fire. Fighters form a defensive screen.
Pilots, evasive maneuvers. Watch the fire. It's close quarters at the moment.
Heavy damage. Bank 2 low.
You traitorous sons of bitches! Hold your fire!
Hesperia, this is the Indus. The Arethusa was assisting our humanitarian mission for the Pessajet. You've just destroyed a non-combatant under a ceasefire.
Ceasefire? Pardon me, Captain Sorensen, but I got no notice from command that such a ceasefire was in place. Admiral Calder deployed us to secure the area after we lost contact with you. The Arethusa was a hostile target and by definition a combatant.
Seems like the status quo has returned to this little patch of space, Laporte. How do you fancy the outcome of this humanize the enemy experiment?
Rearming complete, sir. You're good to go.
I can't complain, one. We're still alive. But I can't help but wonder what would have happened if it had lasted a little longer. Still, I guess best intentions aren't enough to stop the fighting. It's too late for that. This war won't end until one side wins, and I'd rather it be us.
Laporte, we'll make a Martian of you yet.
Accept the transmission. Tell no one.
Oh, what the hell?
Pilots, this mission is over. Bring yourselves in. Gamma Wing from the Hesperia will take over escort duty.
Okay, pilots. First, I want everyone to know that I'm proud of the way you handled yourselves out there today. All of you managed to hold the ceasefire long enough for the Pessajet to receive assistance. What happened to the Arethusa afterward was regrettable considering the conduct of the Tevs throughout the operation, but this is a war. The crew of the Pessajet are grateful for our assistance. We're in the process of interrogating Captain Apries regarding the Pessajet's operations in the system. Latest word is that he's been cooperative and civil so far. You can expect to hear the results of that soon, but for now it looks like there's no danger of a Vasudan battle group coming to make life difficult for us. In fact, by saving the Pessajet, we may have given ourselves the diplomatic edge we need to keep the Vasudans out of the war. What is worrying, however, is the increasing abilities of the Gaian effort. The Pessajet was ambushed at a navigational point that should have been secret and secure. Somehow the Gefs knew the Vasudans would be there, which suggests both abilities and motivations unknown to us. Intelligence is revisiting what we know about the terrorist group. We're not a police force, but you can expect Natraba to divert assets into combating this terrorist threat to secure our own freight assets. What I want to know is this. If the Gefs are working for the Tevs, and Laporte, you've seen Tev transports in Gef hands, why would they provoke the Vasudans? Have they gone rogue? Or just nuts?